What's going on, everybody? American Football Network here with another video today. And today we're bringing you guys our Clemson NC State preview prediction video. But before we get started, make sure you guys like and subscribe. Comment those thoughts and opinions down below. I'm going to reach 2,200 subscribers by the end of September. We're about 100 away. Check out the description for links to our shop, which you can see on the screen right here. A lot of great products. You can also check out our podcast, our Patreon page, our website as well. So let's get going on that. Check everything out. Help support the show. And let's go ahead and jump into today's video. So like I said, today we got NC State and Clemson preview prediction video. The Tigers coming into this one at 1-1 on the season. NC State coming in to Death Valley 2-1 on the year. Neither team has played an ACC game yet, so this will be the first one. This will be the first conference game for both of these teams. It'll be Saturday at 12 on ABC. You look, North Carolina State beat Western Carolina week 1, 38-21, lost to Tennessee week 2, 51-10, and then beat Louisiana Tech last week 30-20. So they've kind of struggled. They got killed by Tennessee, and then they've struggled significantly against Western Carolina and Louisiana Tech. Both those games going into the fourth quarter, I believe they were tied. They might have even been down against Louisiana Tech. I know they were tied at 21 with Western Carolina going into the fourth. Louisiana Tech might have been beating them heading into the fourth. It was close, though. And so they have not looked very impressive so far this season. Clemson, on the other hand, you look, week 1, get absolutely blown out against Georgia, 34-3. Didn't score an offensive touchdown. Barely even had any plays in Georgia territory. Then you come back in week 2 against App State and put up 35 in the first quarter and win that one 66-20. They had a bye week last week, so they're freshly rested, looking to build on that big win against App State. Look at the series history between these two teams. This is a rivalry game, and a pretty good rivalry, one that's been going on for a good while now. The Textile Bowl, as Clemson leads the all-time series 60-30-1. Dabo Swinney all-time is 11-3 against NC State in his career. At Clemson, he's 6-0 in Death Valley. He's never lost there. And then last year, Clemson lost 24-17 in Raleigh. You look, two of the last 3 years, NC State's won this game. They won back in 2021 in double overtime. And 2022, game day came to Clemson. That was a huge game, and Clemson beat them pretty good. DJ quarterback in both of those. And then last year, Klubnik had his first game against NC State. They lost that one 24-17. He didn't look good, threw 2 picks in the game, no touchdowns. So for me, the biggest 3 factors in this football game, the keys to the game for Clemson to get a win in this one is, number 1, you got to get pressure on CJ Bailey. Because we hadn't mentioned it until now. Grayson McCall is going to be out of this game. CJ Bailey is going to start. McCall suffered a concussion last week, so he's not playing in this game. He's not going to play in this one, as he's out with a concussion. And I apologize, I thought I had that graphic on the screen earlier. He's out with a concussion. So you got to get pressure on CJ Bailey. He's a younger quarterback, not as experienced. You got to get pressure on him, and you have to find ways to make him uncomfortable. Don't let him get comfortable in the pocket, because they have some weapons offensively. So you got to get after him, get pressure on him. Make him make him get a little timid, a little shy in the pocket. He's also a solid running quarterback. So if you can get some pressure, then that clock inside of his head is going to start ticking faster and faster and faster, and he's going to start running out of the pocket more. And he's a running quarterback. He could hurt you with his legs a little bit, but I think Clemson is going to do a good job of containing him. I think if you get him pressure, get him off balance, just get him uncomfortable in the pocket, your defense will be set up pretty nicely. For sure. I think the number 2 key to the game is use the middle of the field offensively. Find your guys and Jake Brenningstool over the middle. Hit the deep shots like we saw last week with Antonio Williams, Bryant Wesco, TJ Moore going deep. Find those guys deep down the field and find Brenningstool in the middle. It doesn't have to be 20 yards down the field. It can be 7 yards down the field. Just use the middle of the field. Get those receivers the ball in space and let them go to work. Instead of it just being wide receiver screen or out routes like we've seen the majority of the last 3 years. But they turned it on last week offensively. I know it was against App State, but don't don't discredit it because it's App State. App State's a good football team. They were one of the picks to potentially be the Group of Five, the Group of Five representative in the playoff this year. So I'm not saying App State's a great team. I expected Clemson to win the game, potentially cover the spread, but what an electric just offensive performance they put out last week. Now it's time to go build on it against a team who does have a solid defense. Again, NC State hasn't played the best either all year. I mean, lost 52 or 51-10 to Tennessee, and just have kind of played close with other teams. But use that to your advantage. Go do to NC State what Tennessee did to them, because this Clemson team is capable of it, and we saw that last or 2 weeks ago. That they have deep threat receivers and they can hit them. So go use the middle of the field, go hit those guys deep, and go make some big time explosive plays offensively. You look at number 3, key to the game in this one. For me, it's contain Jordan Waters and KC Concepcion. These are the two guys that killed you last year. You look, Jordan Waters, now he played for Duke last year in week 1. He killed Clemson in that game, 109 total yards and a touchdown against the Tigers. I believe he had 60-something, I think it was like 68 rush yards and like 46 receiving yards. It was something like that. But do not let this guy beat you again. And the guy for NC State who killed you in the game in Raleigh last year was KC Concepcion. 134 total yards in that game, 2 touchdowns against Clemson. They couldn't stop him in the second half, and he single-handedly carried that offense for him last year. And him and that defense are what won the game for NC State last year up there. And so, you got to find a way to stop the dude, and he'll kill you if you don't contain him and don't keep a focus on him, because they'll line him up in the backfield and let him run with it. They'll pull him across on jet sweeps. And then next thing you know, he's taking off 80 yards down the field on a go route. So they move this guy all over the place. He's super fast, super electric, just a highlight waiting to happen. Don't give him the opportunity and the space to do it. And the same with Waters. He's a pounder back. He's going to run straight up the gut and just pound away at you. But if he gets through the second level of your defense, he'll take off. He's got speed. He's got the size and the speed. He's an elite running back. You have to find a way to stop these two guys because, again, Grayson McCall is out. CJ Bailey filling in at quarterback. This sets up to where they're probably going to want to do a lot of short pass game and running the football, which puts the focus on these two guys, at least in the first half. In the second half, you might have them in a position where they're going to have to throw the ball deep. I don't know. We'll see. But for now, this is going to be, for the first half at least, it's going to be something where they're going to be trying to run the football and hit the short passing game. And these two guys are the guys that are going to kill you if that's their game plan and you don't keep a focus on them. So do that. Stay focused on them, and you should be all right. Score prediction for this game, NC State and Clemson. I have Clemson winning this one 48-10. The spread on this one is Clemson minus 19.5. The over-under set at 48.5. I think it's going to hit the over, and I think Clemson should cover the spread. I don't think they'll have much problem here against NC State, especially considering that McCall is not in. I think that if he was in, it would probably be a little bit closer. But just the way NC State's played all season, just the way that they've looked, I just don't think this is going to be a very competitive game. I think they can hang around. It might be close. They might even have the lead at the end of the first quarter, something like that. But I don't see them hanging around for long. It really just all comes down to can Clemson's offense move the football? Because if the Clemson offense comes out, and it looks like it has for the better of the last 3-4 years now, then this game could go anything. I mean, anything could happen in this one if that's how they come out. But if they come out and obviously Klubnik's not going to play as perfect as he did 2 weeks ago, against App State. He's not going to play perfect like he did in that one. But if he can play at a high level, hit open receivers, and guys like Wesco and Moore get open down the field, Clemson should have no problem winning this football game. So that's my score prediction. Clemson 48, NC State 20. We appreciate you guys checking us out. Make sure you like and subscribe, comment those thoughts and opinions down below, and we will see you guys next time.